Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to WeLoveMetal.com. I am on the phone with Josh from A Sight for Sewn Eyes. How you doing tonight, Josh?
I'm very good. How about yourself, Bill?
Good, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. I want to start out by, I'm going to throw some names at you here. Cancer Bats, Alexis on Fire, Comeback Kid, Periphery. What does A Sight for Sewn Eyes now have in common with those bands?
Oh, we're on the fucking best label in Canada with them, eh? Distort Entertainment.
Man, that's going to be a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, oh God, it's the greatest, man. Those are all some of the top metal bands out there right now, and it's so cool to be alongside all of them.
What, has the label support helped?
Oh, God, yeah, man. The label's been so unreal to us, just helping us out pretty well every single day that we send in hand.
What's the big difference you notice with having, some support from, well, obviously a lot of experience on your back there?
Yeah, well, having a label like Distort backing us, just their experience in general, and just the metal world and guidance and everything helps out in pretty well everyday activities for the band. And plus they take a lot of the workload that we had existing, talking to promoters about certain poster ideas and other t-shirt designs and ordering our merch. And it's just an awesome help to have that, at our disposal, essentially. Just because I'll call them pretty well every single morning and just even say what's up. I just like having a good relationship with them in general.
Excellent. Why we're talking is actually hearing from Distort. They wanted me to mention a big show you have coming up November 10th here in Halifax, which happens to be WeLoveMetal.com's backyard. So
your phone's kind of breaking up, but in November 10th, and I'm assuming that's about.
Yeah, tell me about the Halifax show.
Yeah, the Halifax show. It's started the Distort Values Tour with Exalt, who also recently signed to Distort, and they're such a great band, such good dudes. So it's awesome to finally get out with them, because we've been friends with those dudes for a while, and they've been out to our neck of the woods, but never when we were home. So it's really cool to be able to bring them out and show them a really good Halifax show.
You gotta.
The show's just nuts in general.
We Love Metal is from Nova Scotia, and
I don't know if I've met you personally before, but I've met some of the We Love Metal people.
Yeah, definitely, and we've been fortunate to see you guys live a few times, so those Halifax shows must be pretty special to you. Oh,
God, man, it's the best. It's just, I see all the people that kind of grew up with us, and, sorry, I'm just driving away in my car right now, sorry for the beeping, but, yeah, to see all the people that we grew up with still, supporting our band and also seeing the newcomers to shows and just enjoying themselves, absolutely every second of the show. And everybody that's there kind of has a positive vibe. Nobody's ever negative. There's never fights down at the Pavilion or at our bar shows. So it's really just a friendly experience with heavy metal music going on at the same time.
It's friendly, but man, I gotta say, your intensity level, especially you, is high all the time. How do you maintain that?
Just giving it all I got every single night until, I pretty well tire myself out at the very end of the set sometimes, Have to go out back, throw up a little bit, but it's all worth it in the end.
Is it the music, the crowd? You must have to go through some sort of ritual to get... you were at the peak of your level when you're up there.
Well, yeah. Well, I do feed off the crowd a lot, and they kind of keep me going, I guess. So, that'd be a main point of it. Not that, I don't give it all, when the crowd necessarily isn't feeling us all that much. I don't mind. I still give it 110%, but having that extra energy just kind of makes the show a lot more enjoyable for everybody. So that, and also the band members behind me playing such good music and being as tight as they are and making me sound a hell of a lot better than I would on my own.
The technicality you guys display, you must be in awe of it sometimes yourself.
I'm sorry?
The technicality that you guys have up there, your music you play is very technical. You must just think to yourself, how did I get these gifted guys behind me?
Oh, God, man. Each one of them are godsends. Not, the band wouldn't be the band without those other four guys. just the creativity that we all come up with, like, in very many different ways. It's just a really cool thing to watch happen. Like when we were doing our album, it was really interesting to see how everybody came together and brought different elements to the table, and it kind of turned out like every song was completely different and had a completely different vibe to it. So yeah, it's awesome to have those guys, and like we're all best friends. We obviously get on each other's nerves every once in a while, but that comes with being in a band. But at the end of the day, we all sit down, we all write, and we all contribute a very good amount, and well, equal parts, I guess. So it's cool to see the final outcome, because we all come from very different music backgrounds, I guess. Well, obviously there's a metal basis with all of them, but it's really interesting to hear some of the guys' ideas that listen to old, like 90s thrash hardcore, and some dudes who came from a complete original screamo background, and then myself that I don't really listen to like much metal anymore. I still love it, mind you, but like I just listen to just straight acoustic or folk music, and it's really neat to see all those elements kind of come out in music.
Along those lines, the new album, the sophomore album for you guys, Alone Together, how would the band describe that? Like, if you listen to it yourself, what do you think?
Well, it's I guess for me, I focus on the lyrics that I wrote for it, so it's a positive album, but at the same time, for me, I was going through some weird experiences at that point, so I was trying to write about like how I can put a positive spin on things, but I'm kind of screaming about the madness that I'm going through. So for me, it's it's kind of a weird mix-up, actually. Like, it's really hard to pinpoint, but yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like a real emotional, well thought out album, I guess, on my part. And for the guys, they put their fucking heart and soul into all the instruments going into it, and it turned out beautiful. Like, I wouldn't be inspired by certain parts without their music backing it up.
So do you guys start writing right away again now, or do you take a break and just get this one out there?
Well, we took a minor break just being on tour and everything. We didn't have much time to write, but now that we're home, like, it's awesome to jam the album and make sure everybody's like not rusty on certain songs. But yeah, no, we're continuing to write all the time, and just having those songs done and constantly improving them. Because some of the songs off Alone Together are super old that never actually made it to an album. So we try to perfect them and then put them on this, and those are now the finished songs. So it's really cool for that, in that sense, I guess.
Now, I want to backtrack a little bit. Being from a smaller market, Halifax, did you find it hard to get discovered?
Yes. It's very tough to get out of Halifax, like to get promoters on your side, and they'll back you up when you come into their town, and they'll put on a show for you. We fortunately were hooked up by decent counterparts from Hamilton, Ontario. We did kind of a trade-off thing. We brought them out east, and they brought us out to Ontario. So like, we were really lucky to be able to go out with those dudes, and that's kind of how we got our start outside of the East Coast, because we did a number of tours just through the Maritimes previous to that. And being in Ontario is just a completely different market and just a completely different set of people. So it was really good for us to get out there, make the connections we made, and now we can go out on our own and do those shows. And like, I try to get bands from this way, get a van, get a trailer, and just start going to play shows. Like, who cares about the money? You'll figure that out later, and just get your name out there. Because like, I really would like to see the East Coast, let alone Halifax, get back on the map for having good metal bands. Because like 5-6 years ago, you had awesome bands playing in Halifax. Letter Unfolds, Memories of Phoenix, all of those dudes were killing it and making such good music. And good bands still do come out of Halifax, but they kind of get caught up with the whole money issue. They all move out and get apartments, and then they can't really focus on playing shows because their bills start piling up. So it's, I don't know, I've been trying to push bands into just being like, forget about your money and just go for it, because that's exactly what we did with the help of the dudes and counterparts. And I'm trying to help out bands as much as I can, as well as the other guys in my band, because we really just want to see Nova Scotia and the Maritimes just grow in the metal world.
Man, it's the one thing I've said about you guys from the first time I saw you. I was always amazed at the touring schedule you were able to keep, and you guys have got to take some credit for that too, for sure.
Oh God, man! Like, we've been so fortunate to get on the tours that we've been on. Like, our booking agent Adam Sylvester and our previous agents in the past have all hooked us up and kind of got us to where we were, along with our management, like Liam Cormier from Cancer Bats and Rich, who is one of my best friends, who's like our main head manager, and he helps us out so much getting on so many good tours, and we're so thankful to be a part of that, because I meet all these people that are striving to be in a band but don't necessarily get these opportunities. So I'm so happy and so thankful on many different levels that we can be a part of some of these tours that we've been on.
On an interesting side note for you, Liam Cormier holds the record for being interviewed the most by this site. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're huge Cancer Bat fans. So. Just in closing, Joss, I just want to, along what we were talking about, I just want to throw 3 names at you and just get your impression and where they go from here. And they're local bands. One of them would be Josh Hogan's Orchid's Curse.
Right? Yeah, great dudes, man. That guy has done a lot for bands on the East Coast. He has, like, D5R and everything, getting a bunch of bands out, and he's been getting his own band out, and they're just like a sick throwback thrashy metal band. I enjoy watching those dudes, and plus Josh's beard is out of control now. It looks like a large broom. So that just adds to the show so much more.
And somebody you shared the stage with a lot, Blackmore.
Blackmore, raddest dudes in the world. They're just the definition of rock stars. They just want to, pound back booze, slam some fucking riffs, and, trash a hotel room every once in a while.
And one that a lot of people haven't heard from, but Bert Church. I'm curious of your opinion on what they do.
Bert Church. We played a show a little while back with them, I believe, with Ken Mode, and they're kind of just a really thrashy, kind of like throwback hardcore band. Am I correct?
Yeah, really grindcore type, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I remember seeing them. It was sick, but unfortunately, that their guitar player. Well, one of their guitar players broke a string, and he was forced to just do vocals that night. So I didn't get to have the full experience, but from what I saw, they were awesome. And they made do with what they could, which is awesome to see a band do. Like, some bands kind of crack under the pressure of that and get all frustrated. They just forgot about it and just kept going. It was awesome.
Well, I want to thank you, Josh, for doing this. I want to encourage everyone, November 10th, to check out A Sight for Sewn Eyes in Halifax, their hometown, starting a big tour. And it's been a great time talking to you, man. Thank you.
Hell yeah, man. All right. Well, thank you very much for the great questions. We'll probably see you then.